God bless you, my brothers and sisters. I am so happy to be coming to you today through this means. And as I was meditating this morning as to what I wanted to share, I began to think about a time when my family and I were on a cruise, and we stopped in Puerto Rico, and we were walking through the streets of Old San Juan. And these streets are made of cobblestone. We were on our way to a restaurant, and I saw the traffic coming, so I wanted to hurry, and I started crossing the street, but I didn't realize that there was a hole in one of the cobblestones, and I put my foot there, and I tripped, and I fell right in front of an oncoming car, and I almost got hit by a car. I jumped up quickly. I started walking, and after a few moments, I got severe pain, and this incident that I wasn't expecting affected my entire trip. I had to deal with the pain. I couldn't enjoy everything fully. And isn't that how life is sometimes? We're going along, doing our best, doing what we feel God has called us to do, providing for our family, doing our thing, and suddenly something happens that kind of throws a wrench in the spoke of our bike, kinds of mess us everything up, and we continue to doing, but we have this pain, or we have this situation that's there, and we say, man, if it wasn't there, everything would be perfect. Well, I came to talk to you a little bit about that, about when life brings unexpected things, what do we do? Well, I want to tell you this morning that we continue to live, and we continue to be faithful to what God has called us to do. The Bible says that in the book of Acts, the church of God was thriving, everything was going well, and all of a sudden, they kill one of their leaders named Stephen, and it provokes an incredible persecution against the church. And it caused that some of the church had to actually leave their place of residence. They had to move to other places. They had to leave. And the Bible says in chapter 11, it says, wherever they went, they spread the good news of the gospel. They continued living. They continued providing for their families and living their life, but they continued doing what God had called them to do, was to be witnesses of Christ. The Bible says that God began to bless. And in verse 23 of chapter 11, the Bible says that in chapter 11, it says that something started to happen in a city called Antioch. And they sent one of the leaders to go check on it. And when he went, his name was Barnabas. And when he got there, the Bible says that when he arrived, he saw this evidence of God's blessing. He was filled with joy, and he encouraged the believers to stay true to the Lord. Imagine that in the midst of persecution, in the midst of this unexpected occurrence, in the midst of having to literally just relocate, things are different. I'm in a different city, but in the midst of all of that change and all of that unexpectedness, Barnabas sees the evidence of the blessing of God, and he encourages them to continue to stay true, or to continue to be faithful to God. In one version it says, continue to be for God with all your heart. So my word to you today is, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're facing, no matter what situation, no matter how painful it is, let's commit ourselves to the Lord. This is not the time, in the midst of so many things that are happening in our world, so unexpected things, so many things that are tainting or maybe changing our view of the future. Let us do two things. Let us trust God, and let us remain faithful to Him. Because I can guarantee you one thing, that He's going to remain faithful to you. The Lord loves you, and we do too. Have a great day. God bless.